Crisis report. PrepperNow. We're calling this one Prep Now, just because prepping is important. It's what you should be doing. And I want to talk about some things going on, where things are going, and some things you should consider. Okay? So, I like to come here to Daily Job Cuts. They do a good job. It's an aggregate of all the stuff that is going on that is potentially problematic for you and I. So they do good work. He puts all kinds of stuff out there. So let's start with in the center here. Federal employees are bracing for potential mass layoffs with Trump's second term. He has definitely said, with no mixed messaging, that he is going to go in with a cleaver and start cleaving the crap out of federal employees. As other channels have said, it's a threat to bureaucracy. And I think it's great. I think most people do. I want my tax dollars and everything to go to what it needs to go to, not just graft. And let me give you an example. The Pentagon has failed a 7th straight audit. That was put in the crisis report. Those that don't know, crisis report is my other channel. It's just a straight news thing. So if you want to go check that out, I just did a video there. But we talk about this. 7th audit for the Department of Defense has been failed. So, we're hemorrhaging money. So you'd hope that the people running the show would kind of get their act together and make it so that hemorrhage gets cauterized and everything starts to heal and get back to normal. But that's not happening, Let's see. Property tax hike is failed in Chicago because, well, they can't hike it too much more. I guess that's good. However, California homeowners could face property insurance hikes under new rules. So there's a reason why most people are leaving the blue states of Illinois and California and others, is because they have the tax, the crap taxed out of them. So nobody wants to be there if they're just going to be taxed over everything. And home ownership is one of the few ways left to build wealth, if you can even do that. And having a lot of your money taken away by taxes is not smart. Parents used to live in Cincinnati, and their property taxes were getting up into the 5-digit level. So that's a lot. Your property taxes shouldn't be anywhere near $10,000 to $15,000, but there are people that do. So, yeah. Not good there. Let's see. Ford has been hit with a $165 million penalty from NHTSA, second highest in history. John Deere is planning to suspend production at Ottumwa, Iowa plant for a month due to reduced demand. So that's a double whammy. They're not doing so hot. They've cut off people's shifts, and obviously people aren't buying those new John Deeres anymore. Probably doesn't help. They had that stuff come out about them being all super woke, and people just want your items and things that you buy. They want them to work. They don't care about what John Deere's thoughts are on abortion and stuff like that. And now, everybody thinks they need to weigh in. No, you don't. You cast your vote, you move on. So, now they're questioning layoffs slowing. Maybe because we're going into the holiday season they are, but I can assure you in January they're going to kick right back up. Let's see. Legacy media newspaper replaces editorial board over voters' disconnect. Okay, at least they get it. But this is a big one. House Democrats are calling for a shadow government to undermine Trump. Now, I said this over on the crisis report, and I'm going to say it here. If you lose, the best thing for you to do is to go and to fix what did you wrong. What did you do wrong? You go and you fix that, okay? You're playing sports ball and your team is losing, call a timeout, huddle them up. You talk to little Jimmy and little Johnny and you say, you guys got to do better here and there. And then, Michael, you need to go and do X, Y, and Z and fix it. And then you tell them that, sports ball is one point at a time. To get back in there, don't look at the score and do your best. That's not what these people do. No, they don't do that. These people are nuts, and this is their religion, and so they treat it as such. So they don't do normal things, and it is not normal to form a shadow government. So, I don't know. I don't even know where to begin with that one, but that'll be interesting to see what happens with all that. So, why? Why did they lose? Oh, well, maybe it's all the crap going on the border. Yep. I'm doing units on slavery, and I do like the right way to teach it, where I let them know historically slavery has been around forever, and that most people at some point have a slave in their lineage to where they are now. The term slave comes from the word Slav. Middle East was very big into the slave trade before it went elsewhere. The Slavs were the recipients of such things. The Irish have been slaves, and it's not a skin color thing. But I asked them, I said, how many slaves do you think are going on today? And they looked at me and said, what do you mean slaves today? I said, oh yeah, there's slaves today. Elaborate. Well, there's 40 million. You can look it up. 40 million slaves right now in the world. And many of them are trafficked. And these cartels now, what they do is they make more money this way. They make more money off of taking people all over the place, moving them from one situation to the next, and then doing, of course, terrible things that we will not name here. Human trafficking is big money, and it's ongoing and growing. So, we've talked about all the deportation stuff. We've talked about the concerns about people coming over and what they could potentially do from, say, places like China or Iran. Well, now, with a bit of a clock going on, there's a countdown. And that countdown is saying that, Orange Man Bad's going to be taken over in January. And you better get your butt over the border if you're coming here. You want to be here. So, they're going to do this. They're going to come. But, yeah. So now they're saying that they are just doing their best to get over here. So, it says from the dense jungle connecting Panama and Colombia to the banks of the Rio Grande, human smugglers are spreading a message to U.S.-bound migrants: hurry up and sneak in before Trump gets in. And I would imagine so. I would imagine if you were coming up here, you're almost all the way up, you thought things are going to go a different way, and you're on the border, and of course, Orange Man Bad's taken over, and he's promising to get rid of you should you come over the border. So I'm sure that calculus is affecting some people's decisions on things, but it is interesting to see all of this and just the way the country has changed. And the biggest problem with all this is human trafficking. Human trafficking is a terrible problem. And a lot of our youngest and most vulnerable are destroyed from it. So this is the problem. This is part of the reason why people voted against all of this. Because they're smart. They can put two to two together. They can figure out that if you allow all this to happen, if you allow people coming over and you don't really police things, it'll perpetuate itself. And a lot of these kids, they get separated. There's a crap load of them missing. So something to worry about, something to be concerned about. And this is part of the reason why I think they lost. People just don't want this anymore. They want things to get better. And are they getting better? I don't know. Maybe, kind of. We'll see. One thing that's not gotten better is our food over time. Our food is terrible for us. Makes us sick. There's people that are freaking out over RFK being proposed for HHS. According to, I believe it is Article 2, Section 3, recess of cabinets, recess cabinet appointees are going to probably happen. So people are pissed off about Gates. People are unhappy about RFK. Thomas Massey basically poured water on any hope that these two gentlemen will not have some kind of a something. He said they're going to be appointed via recess appointments. A little more to that, because you got to involve Murkowski and Collins, who of course are rhinos. So it'll be interesting to see where all that goes. But RFK is coming after our food, supposedly. We'll see. He might not do anything. Our food is fake and terrible. I actually put a post on the X yesterday about all this. And our food is terrible. So they come out and, they'll discover, they're talking about this discovering, this like refractive thing, this tartrazine. Everything has got problems to it. When you're not using natural stuff, when you're not using organic, there's always unintended consequences. Now, I don't think scientists are out trying to make us unhealthier. However, when you come up with some miracle product that does something, it takes many years, many, many, many years to basically try to make it so this stuff is understood. And substances are not good. There's plastics, there's all kinds of stuff that are in our food. As it says here, thousands and thousands of additives, texturizers, colorings, humectants, antifungals, anti-caking agents, preservatives. All of this is in our food. And a lot of it is misunderstood or not understood at all. Been rubber stamped. So, as you can see there's some healthy stuff. There's some star-kissed or sun-kissed or whatever. Yeah. So our law doesn't really protect us. It says the GRAS system was first introduced by the FDA in 1958 after the passage of the Food Additive Amendments to grandfather through additives that were already used in our food. And here we are. Our food is fake. So, yeah. I mean, there's a reason why all of these crazy diseases and crazy numbers of cancer and heart disease and all this stuff is going up. It's because the stuff that our parents and grandparents and great-grandparents were brought up on, that's not our food anymore. It's fake sludge. All done because it's cheaper and it preserves it longer and all this stuff. But when you consume it over time, it starts to wear on your system. So it starts here. It's talking about a situation where a company can produce a new food additive, decide it's safe by whatever means it chooses. That's not good. And then bring it to market without any scrutiny at all from the FDA. So nobody knows the exact amount, but the common estimate is that there are as many as 10,000 food additives in the United States. Who do we got there? I can't read. I have my thing down. Whoever you are that just gave me $10, thank you so much. Let me look real quick. My apologies. I have it dark here in the old studio. Bill Evans, thank you so much. Yeah, last chance is right. That's why I'm not sitting here gloating and thinking everything is awesome. We have a lot of work to do at the very least. So, but yeah, 10,000 food additives in the United States compared to around 2,000, all known quantities. By contrast, the EU does not allow a lot of the stuff that we have in our food. So, yeah. Well, Kennedy said the FDA's war on public health is about to end. Yeah, your lips to God's ears, my friend. So if you work for the FDA and are part of this corrupt system, I have two messages for you. One, preserve your records, and two, pack your bags. Now, I quoted over on the crisis report, they said they've got industrial shredders at all kinds of government agencies. I don't know the truth of that. I mean, it's probably a joke. But maybe they do. Maybe they don't. You get the point. Yeah, I don't know. We'll just see. But yeah, they should preserve their records. And you should preserve food. You should be prepping. Because as Bill said, we are dire straits. Now, I hope that Mr. Orange Man Bad will do things good. I hope that he will make it so we become a land of plenty again. But the fact is that with a geopolitical landscape with Iran and China, and all these other things going on, we really aren't in a good way. We should be prepping. So. This is an article I found that's got 30 different things. I'm going to just go through them real quickly on what you think, and put what you think in there. But I'm going to go through them and tell you what I think about all of this stuff real quick, and a lot of it I do have. So right there, 30 items you should be hoarding. It's not hoarding, it's called prepping, and you buy it quickly. So it's number one is canned beans. Now, I don't know if this is in order or not. Canned beans, I mean, everybody, you're not a prepper if you don't have a thing of canned beans. So, yeah, canned beans are good, but that wouldn't be number one. I don't know. Maybe it's not in order. But, yeah, canned beans are good, but do a variety. All right, so on this one, this is canned food stuff. My thing is, I always look for calories, okay? You want good, healthy calories. And yams, canned yams are excellent. Sweet potatoes. Canned carrots are another one. Very good. And then canned peas. Those are three of your more calorically dense stuff, all good for you, and you can do a lot of stuff. You have rice. You can take those three things and do a stir fry and take some of the sweetness from the yams. It's a good meal, a little bunker stir fry. But yeah, beans good. Rice. If you don't have rice, I mean you're crazy. Rice is I think it's 80,000 calories for a 50-pound bag, if I remember correctly. I'm not quite sure on that. I could be wrong. But rice is great. If you get rice, you want to take it and you want to freeze it for at least 3 to 7 days. The reason why is if there are any critters in there, it will freeze them to death and they will die and be boiled out when you make your rice. We're currently using rice from 5 years ago, and there's nothing wrong with it. And we use it literally every week. So rice is incredibly critical. Very good. Instant noodles. Now, I don't know about instant. I like pasta. These things, again, have a lot of preservatives and stuff like that. I would much rather have a crapload of spices and have really good pastas. Elbow macaroni is cheap, and you can get a lot of it. Angel Hair pasta is the same way. You can even do things like egg noodles. Noodles are important. Noodles are a smart thing to prep. Ramen noodles are not, and it's because of the preservatives and crap that are in them. So be careful with all of that. Bottled water, yeah. Here's my thing with bottled water. It's got all, if you're going to get it, get the good kind of bottles if you're going long-term storage. But bottled water is great, but you need to figure out ways to have perpetual water coming in. Those cases of bottled water will go away at one point. So you want like a rain catchment system. You want a filtration system. So if you have to go get water from places that you have to potentially clean it, bottled water is great, but it is finite. So you want more of a sustainable way of getting rain or water. My recommendation is rain barrels, and then you take that from there, and then you wash it or clean it up, put it through your Berkey, filter it. Now, I'm sure this isn't on the list. Maybe it is, but activated charcoal, you got to have that. Canned tuna. Yeah, canned tuna is all right. I like canned chicken more, to be honest with you. Tuna can be high in mercury. Chicken, you get the stuff from Costco, you get the stuff from Aldi, whatever. Canned chicken is usually pretty A-okay. First aid kit, yeah, you need an IFAC, International First Aid Kit. So, Bear Independent, Refugee, Medical, they're great. But you don't have to go there if you don't like it. But get a medical kit of some sort, and make sure that you have an inventory in there. Swap out anything that might go bad or might be, have an expiration date. Things like a JASE case or the other companies that are coming out. I do have a JASE case thing. I don't really promote it anymore, but it's linked in the description. But JASE case makes good pharmaceuticals. Not inexpensive, but we've used them multiple times, and they can handle all kinds of stuff from Lyme disease and what else. So batteries, absolutely, for radios and stuff. AA, AAA for the most. But yeah, batteries, yeah, pretty much common sense. You can get good deals on Groupon, like $48.96 packs. Take them, buy them. Great time at the time. So, hey, look, there's Ed, Prepper Nurse 1. What's up, bud? So, flashlight, very important. You got to be able to see. Get a nice, good flashlight, and make sure you've got batteries for it, of course. But you want like a mag light. You want the good ones. There's a set that came out I got a few years ago. Having the preps, it's a flashlight that's got like different settings, but it also came with a lantern and a couple other lights. Yes, toilet paper, the great toilet paper run of 2020, if you guys can remember that. It did happen. It is real. Toilet paper is incredibly important. If you're in Costco, don't go buy like one of those big Thunder Packs. Go to the industrial area and get one of the 50 roll things. A couple of those boxes will do you pretty good. Soap, absolutely. If you ever travel, take the soap from the hotel that you stay in. Take your soap and keep it and use it and be clean. Clean is a smart move in an SHTF. Hand sanitizer, I think at this point everybody's got some, but it's smart to have a good amount of it. Okay. I'm going to start to roll through these. Pet food, especially if you have an animal. Very, very important if you have an animal. Dried pasta, we have that. Oats, definitely good. Salt, absolute must. Sugar, absolute must. Honey, absolute must. Those three things should be towards the top. You want honey for flavoring, it lasts forever. You want sugar and salt for flavoring as well, and those last forever if you know what you're doing. So, peanut butter. Peanut butter is a nut, so the nut can go bad quicker, but there's great protein in peanut butter. You can buy it in bulk, but just be ready to eat the crap out of it. So, yes, you want some vitamins. You do. Always good to have a multivitamin. Vitamin D just came out and said it's really good for a lot of different stuff. And then vitamin C, of course, too, for your immunity. Canned vegetables, we covered that. I said carrots, corn, sweet potatoes, and peas. High caloric cans. Matches, you want lighters, you want matches, you want, flint and ways to make fire when everything goes down. So maybe your parents like to go to restaurants. We have my mom always liked to collect matchbooks. So we take hers and get those. Candles, of course, you want good long-lasting candles with good wax and everything. Pain relievers, always good to have Tylenol, acetaminophen, and ibuprofen. Baking soda, definitely a good thing to have. You can wash your teeth with it and things like that. Powdered milk, yes. Evaporated milk, cans of that. Condensed milk. All those things are good to cook with and everything else. Cooking oils, I highly recommend coconut oil, to be honest with you folks. Coconut oil is good for you, and it's pretty long lasting. It can freeze. It just got properties because of its makeup that are superior to other oils. So I highly recommend coconut oil. Freeze-dried meals, MREs and other stuff like that, emergency food, that's a must. And then garbage bags, and then it says bleach, and then multivitamins. So let me point out some things they're missing. First and foremost, have a can opener. Let's go basics here. Get a can opener. You definitely want cleaning supplies. What are some things that they missed? I don't know. If you see something they missed on this list, put it in the comments. But yeah, you definitely want activated charcoal. That's a great one. You can brush your teeth. Helps with poison and stuff like that if you have the misfortune of poison. You definitely want gasoline, and you want to be able to store that, or energy things. You definitely want a generator, preferably solar or propane. Let's see. Definitely good to have ways to go to the bathroom. Have like a bucket, one of those portable SHTF bucket type toilets. I'm trying to think in my mind of all the preps we have. Get a water bob. We talked about here. No, it is not 275 gallons. It's 75 gallons. My apologies for that. Way back when, I think it was 2 weeks ago, a week ago. You put it into your bathtub and you hook it to the faucet, and it fills your bathtub up with a big bob of water, and it's just SHTF 101. Let's see. Oh, you definitely want to have like water purification tablets or some kind of water purification. Yeah, I think that's where we're at. I think we've covered them all. So, like I said, put some of your ideas in there, folks. We're going to cut this off right now, but hopefully got something out of this. You can follow us on X and Minds and Gab and Truth. And there is Subscribestar and Locals. Those are great places to find us. You can be like the fantastic people in green down there, like Texan42. Be a member, keeps the lights on. We do tie this in with the crisis report. But yeah, I saw this list. I thought it'd be a cool thing to go through. Because you do need to be prepping now. You do. Things are not getting better. If you watch the crisis report, they think the Ayatollah Khomeini might be dead or at least in trouble. And Netanyahu's residence was struck again with drones. So the back and forth is going to keep going. Wars are going to happen. Problems are going to be happening. There's more H5N1 things going down with the flu. So all of this stuff is important, and you should be thing. Oh, another thing on here, freedom seeds and the boomsticks that go with them. FEMS, folks, food, energy, medicine, and security. That's what we promote here. So I appreciate you being here. Hopefully you got something out of it. God bless you all. Have a wonderful Sunday, and we will see you on the next one.